Aldenacre here with another Halo 4 campaign mission walkthrough. Today I'm going to show you how to accomplish the first of the two weekly campaign challenges for the week of September 2nd through September 8th, which is Oh It's On, which requires that you complete any campaign mission on heroic or higher difficulty with Mythic, Tilt, Thunderstorm, and Tough Luck Skulls on. And we're going to use the Reclaimer mission for this challenge, and there's the 4 skulls we need on. And we really don't need anything else for this one. And heroic difficulty, and here we go. And as we start here, I actually have two versions of this mission for this challenge. This is the faster version, or the speedrunning version, which utilizes a number of speedrunning techniques and mythic tactics to get the mission done in about 16 and a half minutes or so. But anyway, as we start, we come sprinting through this little caveway here, or cave. Instead of going to the mammoth, we make a left turn, and the idea here is if we go out far enough, that will initiate the mammoth to start moving and take care of a couple of mini objectives that we have to accomplish before we can get the mammoth to move. It saves you a few seconds in the run. Not quite sure how many, but it does save you a few. Notice that the mammoth is starting to move now, and the waypoints for the objectives have already lit up. So we jump into the side door here by the rock and run on up here. Commander Lasky right there on the left. And the first thing we want to do is grab the jetpack, and then I'm going to switch over. I didn't bother to wait back there, but I'm going to switch over to my useless AR and swap it out for a sniper rifle, which I will use a little bit later in the campaign. And here we go. Now we've got to wait a little bit. Now normally what you would do is you would fight your way through the coveys on the ridge on the left, and then use a hog to sprint out to the target designator that we've got to get to take out the first particle cannon. And again, use the hog to do that, and then race back, grab a ghost, and come on back. But what I'm going to be doing in this particular run is there's a little speedrunning path that I saw No Eyes 10 use, and that is to jump out of the mammoth early and circle around and come in through the back door, if you will. So as soon as Commander Lasky says Covey's digging in on the ridge, then go ahead, sprint jump off there, off the mammoth, and coast and boost over to that spot on the right and start sprinting and bunny hopping as best you can. Normally I can, if I bunny hop bunny hop for basically 3 counts, then I get full sprint back, and so that's how I use my own little internal counter. You could also count steps, but I find that the 3 hops method is pretty good. All right, we're running towards this small little rock here, and I'm going to sprint, jump, and boost, and this should give me enough lift to get me up to that little ledge. Wait till I get all my boost back, and then a straight up jump and jetpack, and then just run off the edge here and wait for the last second to break your fall with jetpack. We're running along the edge of the stream, jump over the crashed pelican with jetpack boost, and grab the designator, put the first shot on the target, on the particle cannon. It takes 2 to bring them down with Mythic and Tilt on. Jump down to this rock, turn around, boost back up to here, and then sprint into the ghost. And off we go, back to the mammoth. Just haul it back to the mammoth. Here we go. And sometimes I can jump out on the right there, and that run up the stairs is a little bit easier, but that's okay. Alright, now we switch back over to the target designator here and put our second shot on, and that takes care of particle cannon number 1. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to wait a couple of seconds for the mammoth to advance a little bit here before I jump back in the ghost, because there is a jackal sniper over there on the right, and I don't want him in my line of sight, or me and his, so he can hit me with one of his beam rifle shots. Alright, so we jump back in the ghost, and as soon as the front hatch drops, we're off and running. And follow this path. We're at full boost here. Full boost. We're about to run through a gauntlet. Now right about here is where I coast for about 3 seconds to get my boost back. And I'm not, this is heroic difficulty, so they're not that accurate, and I'm not getting drilled. Alright, now I've lost boost again. Just kind of hang back to the right a little bit, and off we go again. And I hardly lost any shields there, so it's a little tougher on legendary difficulty and extremely tough on mythic with all skulls on. But with heroic, not that big a deal. And mythic and tilt give you double health, and tilt, actually mythic gives you double health, and tilt gives the ghost more armoring, more shielding, if you will. But what we're doing here is we're getting ready to use one of the oldest tricks in Halo, which is to jump out of a vehicle through a solid object, and this time it's a force field. If I can get myself going to the right there. The idea is, when you're in a ghost, when you go to jump out of the ghost, look in the direction you want to go, and that's the direction you should jump out of the ghost in. I just forgot that on the first pass. But as we move ahead here, what we've done there is skipped a fight to get through 3 power sources for that force field, including Cubbies, and they have the power sources have their own little power source, so that's a nice little skip to do. It saves a lot of fighting and a lot of time, and some deaths, if you will. Alright, now as we're running up here along this path, as soon as Commander Lasky's comm waypoint comes up, there it is, switch over to the designator, and put your first shot on the second particle cannon. Alright, then immediately jump on the ghost that's parked there and run up in this direction with the ghost. Ease on up here. And we're going to park it right about here, because guess what? We're going to use it in a minute or so. Alright, and then jump jetpack up to here, this point, and what we're going to do is we're going to take out the second particle cannon, put the second shot on it, and as soon as I do that, watch the path I take. I think I just missed it though. Yeah, doggone it, I didn't get it all the way down. There we go. Now we got the shot. But anyway, jump up to this point and the lich will appear, and just kind of boost with the jetpack over to the top here, run on in this open hatchway, and run down here to its power source. 1 whack, 2 shots with a sniper rifle, and the lich is toast. Immediately run out and boost and coast back down to that ledge where we parked the ghost. Okay, and jump on the ghost, and off we go here. Nose up, that's the jump key, by the way. I forgot to tell you that when I used it before. But if you hit your jump key, that will lift the nose of the ghost. And as soon as this invisible wall goes away, you'll see a screen freeze. That tells me the wall's going away. Okay, follow this path, nose up again with the jump key. And now we're going to do a really neat trick that I saw No Wise 10 do in his speed run. And we're going to ease the ghost over the edge here and immediately pull back on the stick, left stick. Sometimes I can get the ghost to come down level, sometimes I can't. And then, but what we want to do is we want to boost and lift the nose over to this point, and then we're going to boost and lift the nose again. And right about here, jump out, and then now we're going to use the jetpack with quick boost and coast, quick boost and coast, quick boost and coast, quick boost and coast. And if we do it right, we'll land over on this rock, and then we're going to run into the wall and boost. That actually gives us a little bit of an extra boost with the jetpack. You'll really see it on this next jump that I do. I'm going to run into the wall right about here, rock wall, and press forward and jetpack, and I just go flying up the wall. That's the only way I can make it. If I tried a regular jetpack or jumping jetpack, I would never make it. Okay, I did the same thing there. You see how much a little jetpack boost will send you flying when you press yourself into the rock face like that. Alright, now we've cut off probably a couple of minutes off the run by using that little trick. And now we're running towards the beginning of Sniper Alley, and we're about to initiate the Sniper Alley skip, which is to avoid a major battle. Okay, and run along this path, and then jump down, and boost a little bit with the jetpack, turn around and come back the other way. What we want to do is initiate that checkpoint. That loads everything out ahead of us. And Okay, and then just follow this path. Boy, I never quite get that jump. Alright, I'm using sprint, bunny hopping, and jetpack as necessary to get back to this cliff face that I'm trying to get to. Okay, right about there, and then we'll jump jetpack up to this ledge. Okay, jump jetpack up to the second ledge. And the jetpack up to the third is where I press myself into the rock face and then just go flying up there. Alright, we're going to do a sprint jump across the gap and boost and coast. Boost and coast. Over to here and then run into this wall and then boost up. And see how far. I didn't really use a lot of boost, but I really jumped up in the air there. That's a nice little trick to know. Okay, now we're coming down here using the jetpack to slow the descent. Here I can't use that rock and press into the wall trick. I have to do a jump jetpack straight up. Okay, and then poke our heads through here. And I actually stepped down to the next level. Didn't really want to do that, but anyway, jump and jetpack, boost and coast, boost and coast, boost and coast, and pooh! I just made it. The idea there was to poke my head through, aim a little bit to the right, and then, okay, we want to jump across here and jetpack. Aim a little bit to the right, step back, and do a sprint jump. And jetpack and coast and boost and coast across. It's a little bit easier doing that way, but I actually stepped a little bit too far forward on this particular one, and I was kind of lucky that I made it across. It's a little more difficult using that approach. Anyway, we come into the building. Alright, now we got to wait for a sentinel to open this doorway. There he is. And the second doorway as well, which will lead us into an elevator. And we take the slow elevator ride down.
Elevator should take us directly to
I don't know why that can't go a little faster.
Almost like those sentinels wanted us to get the particle cannons offline.
This could be a trap.
You say that like there's a second possibility?
Okay, now we're down here. Door opens, and let's just sprint. Wait for this door to open, sprint through here, ignore that sentinel on the left, just go straight ahead. And again, I'm using a combination of sprinting and bunny hopping to advance as fast as I can, as long as I'm not distracted. I can keep a count of how many times I got to hop before I get sprint back. 1, 2, 3, sprint. There we go.
We've reached the coordinates.
And we're heading for, we're in the particle cannon control network room, and we're heading for a place to put Cortana into the system to bring down those 2 particle cannons on the left. 2 on the right that are silver, the 2 that we took out. Now I cannot hear what's being said in the mission while I'm doing the voiceover, so I'm just kind of guessing. Anyway, Cortana's in the system. She's bringing down those 2 particle cannons on the left. She's asking Infinity how it looks, and then she just kind of gets grabbed in the system. And as soon as she does, our next objective is to go find her. And there we go, and the light bridge appears, and we follow this path across the light bridge into this little alcove up here, and make a left, come into the next little alcove, make a right. Alright, run out of here, jump, kind of jetpack down here through this doorway and run into the light. And this is the start of a 5-minute cutscene where the librarian, the local librarian, tells us all about the nasty didact and so on and so forth. And we're going to skip all that and get to the finish of the cutscene, which we can't skip, which is where the chief is getting some additional abilities and such to ultimately take on the didact. Okay, but as soon as we get control back, which is right about now, we run over to this little ramp up. And as soon as the waypoint comes up, okay, grab Cortana, select it, grab Cortana, and turn left and back a little bit, and over jetpack over to this little walkway here on the left. And this actually took a little longer than I would have liked, but we're going to worry about some crawlers there, and a Promethean Knight. Well, good, I got him in a grenade throwing animation, so. But we want to duck in here real quick to the left to make sure that door closes behind us so we don't take any additional fire.
Your bio readings are all over the
And now we're going down to an elevator that'll, we have to come out of here and make a right turn and run through a portal back to an outside battle, which we are going to skip in its entirety. The idea of the battle is to take out force fields, or take out power sources so we can drop a force field and get to our target designator. But what we're going to do here, actually originally there I was trying to grab this hog, but okay, it got knocked over by some sort of explosion. So luckily right there I had a ghost come up and I was able to hijack it. And I'm coming up to this little corner here, trying to work my way. I'm using lift and boost and turning as much as I can to get myself work through that corner. And now I'm off to the races. And I'm going to take the ghost up just short of the force field up there. Right about here, and jump out and run over to this rock and do that press into the rock face jetpack move and go flying up the rock face. Now I'm working my way back around to the force field. Okay, using jetpack and jump. And the idea here is, instead of having to take all these power sources out and fight a big ass battle, we're going to work our way around to the back of the force field, jump down, use jetpack to slow the descent, jump down, do the same thing. Okay, and that screen freeze tells me that the scene in front of me has been loaded, and I should have a target designator up here.
Infinity, we're at the gravity well.
Okay, and all we got to do is grab that designator and target it on the gravity well, fire one shot, and we've essentially completed the mission. Now, I do have a second version of this particular campaign mission for the weekly challenge that's a little easier to do, a little bit lower risk, but it takes about 2.5, close to 3 minutes longer, that I will have rendered and up a little bit later. But anyway, that's my pass at it. There's the end of the mission right there. The challenge should appear. I hope this helps you in your quest. This is Old and Achy signing off. Take care.